Hi, I'm Crystal, and today I'm going to be making this fun tissue box cover. I made this to look like a school bus, but the concept is going to work even if you would like to make this look like a train or a city bus instead. This takes almost no measuring and no special supplies. I did use some hole punches because I am just incapable of drawing a circle without some mechanical help. But otherwise it's just colored paper. So to start off, I'm going to take my tissue box and I'm going to draw around it on the color paper that I'm using for the top and the bottom. So school buses in the US all have white roofs, and so I'm just using white paper for the top and bottom of my tissue box. You don't have to be any certain distance from the side, just smack that tissue box down in the middle and draw around it. Now I'm going to do the sides of my bus. US school buses are always yellow, and I'm going to line up the tissue box with the edge of the paper at the top just so I don't have to go back and trim that later. And I'm going to tuck the tissue in so I can get a good shot with my eye that I've actually got it lined up, and then I'm just going to draw around the box. So I need to know how wide it is. I'm going to go ahead and draw the second side on the other side of the paper. Now I've got the top, bottom, and the two long sides. Now I need the short sides. And the short sides I'm going to draw on matching yellow paper. Now I did struggle with this as I went through the project. I made myself some flaps on the front and back. That was not necessary. I just needed to draw the squares around the front and the back and cut those out the same way I did the sides. So don't make my mistake. Alright, now we're going to go to the top and bottom. And for this top and bottom, we're going to score along all four sides. Not cut, just score. So I'm using the scoring blade of my paper trimmer, but if you've got a scoreboard, that would work just fine. Or if you've got a ruler and a bone folder, that would work. Just need to score along all four sides and then fold to reinforce the crease. Now the top and bottom are going to be scored, but all the sides and the front and back will be cut. So I didn't go to any particular effort to line my sides up with one another, but I know they're the same length, so I'm just going to make one cut along one of the two drawings, and then I'll use the vertical axis to know how wide to make each of these. Once I've got all of these cut out, then of course it's just a matter of decoration. So this is an opportunity for you to do you, but I will put the measurements of the decorations that I used in the description box if you would like to know. Now I did go ahead and cut a couple of black stripes. That's also a feature of most US school buses, a little black stripe down the side. I'm not really sure why they do that. But now I've got my top and bottom, and I'm going to make one cut at each corner. It doesn't matter if you do this on the long side or the short side, just pick one and commit, and that is going to make our tabs. So once I've done this on the top and the bottom, we're going to fold these around the tissue box and just attach those tabs using ordinary household tape. So this would be Scotch tape or cello tape, whatever you call it. We're just going to attach it. Now we do need to do a little bit of measuring. This is the only measuring. I need to know where to put the slit. So I want the tissue to still come out of my tissue box, and so I need to know where to cut a slit in the top. So this is the correct style of paper trimmer to make that slit. If you don't have this style of paper trimmer, I think you would need a craft knife and a ruler to make a straight slit in the middle of the top for the tissue to come out. So I'm just going to cut that little spot for the tissue, and we're good to go. Now I'm going to take the tissue box, feed the tissue through that slit that I've cut. Then I'm going to fold in the tabs on the ends and use my ordinary household tape to hold everything together. All four corners, very straightforward. Once I've got the top done, I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom in the exact same fashion. Nothing special about this, just ordinary tape holding those corners. Now the bottom, exactly the same way. The tabs don't have to go any particular direction. And now we're ready for the fun part, the decorating. So the measurements for all my decorations are in the description box. It's a 1.5 inch wheel, a 1.5 inch window, but you know, this is a chance for you to do it the way that you would like to see it. So I'm just kind of figuring out where to put everything and figuring out what kind of shapes I need. You do want to make sure that your front is facing the front on both sides. And then we're going to attach this to the tissue box. So I'm going to use a little double-sided tape to attach one side to the tissue box, and then ensuring that the front is facing the same way on both sides, I'm going to attach the second side to the second side of the tissue box. I think double-sided tape was easy to use in this context. You could use liquid glue, but then you'd need to wait for a little bit of drying time. Once I've got that tape revealed, I'm just sticking that side down, very easy. Now we're good to go. Now I can do the front and the back. Now, this is where I had this big fail. I thought I needed tabs. That was a bad idea. I didn't need tabs. I fiddled with this and tried to get it straight and decided that was wrong. Cut off some tabs, left some tabs. Nope, I should have just cut it flat. You don't really need tabs on the front and the back. Now, you do need to give some consideration to whether you want this to be a permanent installation or a temporary one. If you want it to be permanent, you can use glue on the front and back. If you want it to be temporary, then I think you want to use something temporary to attach, such as washi tape. So here I've got a little bit of yellow washi tape about the same color as my bus, and I'm just taping on the back. So this whole thing can come right off the tissue box if I want to use it again, or if I decide I don't like having it on the tissue box. I mean, tissues are disposable, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And you would think that 4 little circles of cardstock won't hold up the tissue box, but I found that they do. No problem whatsoever. So I was really happy with how my tissue box came out. I think this would be a fun addition to a get well card for a sick friend. It was a quick project, and it just makes me smile to look at it. So I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I hope you'll give this project your own twist. And I thank you for joining me today.